Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm here once again with another Gamerversary video. And continuing on with the fighting game train is Mortal Kombat, which is celebrating its big 3-0. Yeah, Mortal Kombat's its 30th birthday. Anyways, I hope you're enjoying the content. Hope you drop a like. I definitely want to hear your experience. You know what to do. Drop your comments down below. So, on with the video. Yeah, the 90s was a big boom for fighting games thanks to Street Fighter 2. If you want to watch that, you can click in the upper right hand corner. Ed Boon and John Tobias, went in on the fighting game craze with Mortal Kombat, but in their own way. Unlike Street Fighter, it uses live actors instead of animated characters. And you can see where the inspiration of this game came from. Like the fighting game tournament coming from Enter the Dragon, all the sorcery from Big Trouble in Little China is, prime examples. And of course, the lore of it comes from his characters, like fan favorites like Sub-Zero, which I'm using here for the gameplay. As for my experience with Mortal Kombat, I was just seeing, at my local taco place, I've seen somebody play it, seeing all the blood fly and getting up, and then, of course, hearing those two words, finish him or her, seeing the fatalities was epic at that time. So, plus, Mortal Kombat wanted to stand out not being an average fighting game. So when I tried it out for the first time, I used Scorpion and, using the spear and teleport, cool hearing him saying, get over here or come here when he spears you, things like that. I mean, I didn't know how to use his moves at that time. I was like, I pulled them off by accident, stuff like that. But continued fighting on as normal up until I got beat. So, yeah, here and there. But however, like during the time, everyone was asking, how do you do the special moves? Especially how you do the fatalities. And basically, you had to get these moves from an unlikely source because this is before the internet. I mean, then of course, the next year when the internet was in its infancy, that's when you can find the source of it. But but of course, at that same time, that's when it started getting ported over to the home market. Consoles, computers, handhelds, things like that. I mean, all the moves, fatalities were printed in magazines. So basically, you didn't have to go hunting on the internet. It's right there in a magazine. Just go pick it up. Or just, if your friend buys that magazine, just copy things down. And there you go. And then, of course, speaking of those home ports, I mean, everybody remembers Mortal Monday. Seeing that commercial and everybody's hyped for it. Of course, my friends and I were definitely hyped for it. So, when it came home, of course, the Genesis version was the best one to get because all you gotta do is put that code in. Hey, you get Blood's Fatalities just like the arcade. Unlike that sorry ass Super Nintendo version, which was neutered because took out all the blood, replaced it with sweat, and they had to change the fatalities, which was pure BS and things like that. But it's here and there. But let's go ahead and move on to the characters of the game. Starting with Johnny Cage because they wanted Van Damme to be part of the game, but there was conflicts and things like that. So he was replaced by Daniel Pesina. And of course, he ended up being Johnny Cage because he has Van Damme's move, the split punch, and of course he has that shadow kick, things like that. He's just this cocky Hollywood star and things like that. People call him fake if you watch the movie, things like that. But continuing on, of course there's Raiden. The lightning, the thunder god. Yeah, everybody remembers lightning from Big Trouble in Little China, which I mentioned earlier. It was definitely inspiration. And of course, Daniel's younger brother Carlos, he portrayed him in the first two games. It's cool like that. I mean, even though the straw hat was different, this time, so basically trying to avoid copyright infringement, things like that. But moving on. Yeah, the lone female Sonya Blade on here. And of course, she's based modeled off of Cynthia Rothrock because she's definitely one of the hottest martial artists out there among the women. And you have Liu Kang based on Bruce Lee. Like almost all the fighting games you usually see got someone based on Bruce Lee, either by look or his movesets. And then, of course, you have Kano, like the thug on there, like Sonya's arch rival because, has that cybernetic eye. It's beaming red, just like the Terminator. So where they ripped that off from. So I was like, yeah, I was basically all the characters from the original game. And of course you have the two bosses, Goro, like this half humanoid dragon with forearms. He can beat the shit out of you and stuff like that once you grab it, or just stomping on you when he jumps on you, things like that. So, and you got the final boss himself, that's Shang Tsung. Yeah, you definitely can, he has like that old man look. He's just firing all these moves. He just, morphs into different characters just to throw you off. And then, trust me, he was a tough son of a bitch to fight. I mean, it took me so many tries to beat him, things like that. But, of course, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, and that is the Senate. Yeah, Mortal Kombat was one of those games that was targeted, amongst the hearings of video game violence back at that time, because I never staying up late watching it on C-SPAN. Like all the big game companies, Sega, Nintendo, Konami, you name it, they were there. So I mean, yeah, of course it was the same year, they gave birth to the ESRB. It's like, now they want to rate games just like they do movies, just like the MPAA. It was like, I mean, like, really? Who would do things like that? But I mean, but Mortal Kombat, did it slow it down? Did it hurt it? No. Basically, it just amplified it even more, because like when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, it poked fun at, at the Senate, like all the video game violence. Like, oh, you think, we can just do nothing more than fatalities? They do those babyalities in there, just in friendships, just to poke fun at the Senate of the video game violence. I mean, which was really cool at that, because Mortal Kombat 2, it's basically my favorite of all time. I definitely know what your favorite Mortal Kombat game of all time, things like that. But so now that concludes this Gamerversary video. Just like I stated earlier, I definitely want to hear your comments on it. I mean, what was your experience like with Mortal Kombat the first time? You know the business. Drop a comments down below. Hope you drop a like. If you can join my channel, hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, this is Sinister. Be easy.